Hi, welcome to this video. What we're doing in this video is trying to have a look at fixing some Amiga power supplies. Amiga 500, 600 power supplies. My understanding is they're pretty set. We can use them all on any device, but they're listed as Amiga 500 power supplies. What I've got is I've currently got an Amiga project going where I'm trying to get up and working an old Amiga that I've got in unknown tested condition, but I've got no working power supplies. So I've got these three power supplies from eBay. And what I'm going to do is check them through, see if we can find out if they've got any faults, if they are, what's wrong with them, and get them fixed. Hopefully one or more of them fixed, so that we can then carry them forward and use them as part of my further Amiga project in getting the Amiga up and working. So without further ado, let's start having a look at those power supplies and seeing what the issues are. Okay, so this is the first of the power supplies. So you can see here, Commodore one, just giving a bit of a clean up. They're a little bit grubby. So it says here it's a Commodore A500. It's a 31503, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 31250302. This particular power supply. So I've got two of them actually. 312503-02s. So yeah, just what I'm doing to start off with is really just giving this a little bit of a clean up, and then I can open it up and have a look. What I'm going to do is just plug it in, and we're just going to check to see if there are any voltages on the output pin at all. So hopefully it doesn't go bang when we plug it in. Right. This makes me nervous. Let me turn these things on. Turn it on. Okay, let's just orientate it this way so it's up, so we should have ground at the top here, and it should be minus 12 volts in the middle, plus 12 volts at the top, and plus 5 volts down on the bottom pin. So I wish I had a helping hand, as you know, but I don't. So let's just see if we're getting anything out of this at all. Not the easiest thing to do. Oh, it's difficult. Hold on a sec. Let's try and trap it here. Let's try and trap it like this. So see if we're getting anything out of this one, which should be 12 volts. Nope. Nothing on the minus 12 volts. Just come around to the top. And nothing on the 5 volts. Hold on by the tops of the capacitors. This inductor here, it's got some little white residue on it here, which I noticed when I opened up the power supply is rather strange. And it seems to be that, from what I can see, we're going in via the power. We're going. Let me have a look here. So we've got the we're coming in here via the switch. We then head through the fuse. This is the fuse just here, and then into the inductor on this side for the positive. Or sorry, we'll call it positive, but it's AC, obviously. Okay, but for the we'll call it the positive. And this is the live, let's say, and this is where the neutral side is. So we've got 240 across there, but we've got nothing by the time we get to here. By the time we go across to there, we have absolutely nothing at all. So it looks like, in my mind, this inductor's faulty on this board. Certainly initially, that's going to need replacing before we get any further. I've just taken the inductor off of the board on power supply 1. This was the one that had one leg that we couldn't measure through, which is actually looks like it's this leg. And if we look there, you can see there's quite a lot of corrosion around that particular leg. Looks like the others are attached, which we'd expect on this side here, but it looks like this one, there could be quite an element of corrosion there. So I'm just going to bell it out and see and have a look and see if I can just clean this up a little bit. Right, taking the inductor out of the board as we've said, and what I'm going to do now is just bell it out. This is the side I think is working, so we're going to test that. That's good. This is the side that's got the corrosion on it. Nothing. Okay, so I think we'll get a little bit closer, try and clean it up very carefully and see what I can see on that, and just see what I suspect the wire is going to be damaged or corroded through underneath that little bit of corrosion we've got on the pin there. And we can see this is the first inductor that I removed, and if you see here, this is where one leg was working and one leg wasn't. And you can see we've got on the inductor here, we've got a broken cable. So that cable should be connected to here. You can see that this one as well on the other side doesn't look all that great. They seem to corrode at the edge where the actual inductor meets the circuit board. You can see there it's not that great on that one either, but it is in one piece. But this one here on this side is broken. You just don't seem to be able to get these inductors the same size. So what I'm going to do is do a bit of wrapping wire, put it round this leg, and then try and connect it back onto this wire to make that connection. It shouldn't really have much of an impact on the inductor. It should be good. Right, this is what I'm going to try and use to repair this. So I've got some 0.25mm copper wire, which when I try and hold it up, looks around about the same size as that what's there. It might be slightly thicker, but I don't think there's a lot in it there. It might be 0.2 that's there, I'm not sure. But I think it'll be okay for this repair. It's only for a very short section, so I don't think it's going to make a massive amount of difference. What I'm going to try and do is wind it around, wind the end around this, so we can solder it on, and then have a little bit that just flips over, that hopefully then I can try to solder together onto this piece here to make the repair. So I think wrapping isn't going to be greatly easy, but let's just give it a go. Sorry, my fingers get in the way. I will do my best not to, but the chances are they will. Just try and get... Oh, that didn't work. Take two. Some trouble here. Just getting it to hold well enough to do it. Had that sort of going there as well. Okay, let's see if I can just drop it back over. Use some, try and find some fine tweezers to push it down with. Okay, so what you want to try and do now is just I'm going to need to change the solder tip here, I think, to something that's a bit finer. Bear with me. Okay, what I do is just whack a bit of flux on here. I'm going to just try and tap it on this leg just to make life a bit easier for myself. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be. Let's just have a go. I'm going to do this without the fan, I think, just to make it easy. I think that's got it. I'll do a check. Let's give it a second to cool off. I think that is connected. Feels good. Let's have a quick look at it. Yeah, I think we've got it there. I'm hoping I've not interfered with it too much, because this has got to go back through the board, obviously. So I might just try and pull some of the solder down a bit. Whoops, drift out of shot, sorry. Right, a second just to clear off a minute.
Okay, I've snipped the wire off. I'm just going to try and now just sort of bend this down into position. I might take a little bit more off actually. Okay, going to try and line things up. Just bring it back so I can see it a bit. I don't know how easy that's going to be to solder. Massively difficult, I suspect. It's a bit blobby. But I don't know if I'm going to really get it much neater than that. Okay, let's see now if it bells. Okay, let's try and bell them out. Yep, now working. Let's just try and get this one. Great, that worked. Nothing between that one. And nothing between that one. Okay, that looks good. That looks like that is repaired. So just going to get it trimmed up and cleaned up a little bit now before putting it back in the board. Okay, let's get a bit of flux on. Okay, let's just get this solder back. Just make sure it's pushed through. Yep. Okay, I think this looks good. Let's just get it cleaned up. Tweezers are rolling around on the desk. You can hear me knocking about. I think that looks fine. So a bit more of a clean there. Let's get that back in the power supply and we can check it. I've got capacitors I want to replace it as well, but I just want to see if I can get it up and working first of all, because capacitors look all good. So let's get it back in the power supply case and see if it's working. Okay, gonna test the pins. So let's just see what we've got. So got it orientated this way, so this pin here should be ground in the corner here. Then we should have, let's just see if we've got anything to start off with before we go too mad. Sorry, you can't see the meter at this stage, but I'm just going to put it on what should be the plus 12 volts. And indeed we do. We have about 14 volts, but it's not under load, so that's probably not too bad. And plus 14 volts. So I'm going to put on here, and I'm going to go for the minus 12 volts. And we have just about minus 14 volts there, so it looks good. And now I'm going to test the 5 volts, which is just here. And we have 5.3 volts. So that looks good. That power supply now looks like it's working.